on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we're taking at the WWE Mattel Championship Showdown Series 15, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Triple H. I'll be honest, I was very excited to get this in hand. This was, I believe, revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, and the new articulation that is on the basic single carded figures is also flowing through to the Championship Showdown line. So if you guys are not familiar, the new Mattel Basics now have more articulation within their legs, where you can kind of, really get them in some dynamic poses. Definitely has created a lot more buzz and interest in a lot of collectors like myself. I definitely feel like I'm more interested in a lot more basic figures now that they're being announced. I picked up that workout Hulk Hogan, absolutely phenomenal. I do have that basic LA Knight, love that figure. So Mattel did a real good decision here by really upgrading these figures to an extent. And they're still the same price cost. So I got this at retail. This is $21.99. So it has not increased from the prior waves. And you're going to get a little more interest in collectors, especially with the looks and the added articulation. So this Stone Cold Steve Austin is one I've wanted for a while. With this Austin 316 shirt versus just the black and white one, personally I would prefer it as an elite, but for now I'm sure that'll come eventually down the road, maybe as an elite or ultimate maybe, but I'll take this basic. And I'm excited to see what this figure has to offer. So you get the two-man power trip. Stone Cold was the one I was the most interested in. Triple H, I'll be honest, not as much. I don't even really remember that shirt, to be honest. It's just not one I picture of Triple H during that era. He does have the track pants. He comes with the elbow pads, and they both include the Attitude Era Championship belt. It is a dull finish. You will notice that, but personally, this is one of my favorite Triple H head scans that we've gotten. This was originally released for the Ultimate. I'll probably end up taking this head and swapping it out maybe on my Legends figure to see how that looks. But very excited to have these figures in hand. You'll see the packaging is pretty nice. You do get the image of Triple H and Stone Cold here on the left. Your Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin with a nameplate diagonally going across. The 2024 new articulation here does include of course, the Attitude Era belt. You get the WWE logo with the Championship Showdown logo here. Flipping on the back, you'll see some stats. You'll see another picture of the belt. This set also does include Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul and Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. But enough chatting. Let's crack them out of the packaging and see what these basic figures are all about. Up first, we're taking a look at Triple H here. So this is obviously a basic figure in a two-pack. There are no accessories included outside of the Attitude Era Championship belt, which of course pairs with your Stone Cold Steve Austin, as he was the champ at that time. But you'll see Triple H does have this painted on shirt. We'll take a quick close-up here. You can see on the front it says, "I am your pain," with the silhouette of Triple H on the front. On the back there actually is some writing that says, "I know you can't take me." Personally, I don't really remember this shirt, but this is what you do get with it. You will see the arm is actually, I believe the upper part, if you guys can't see that, is molded in black plastic. They painted the skin tone on, but I believe the lower part of this arm is actually the molded plastic in the flesh tone. So that is kind of a workaround. You will see even here, the black paint is kind of seeping through on his other bicep, if you guys can't see that. But he does have obviously his track pants. You can see on the side some more sloppy paint, but he does have the white painted stripe going down his leg. Articulation wise, this is your new articulated basic. So you will get the extra articulation at the legs. It is on that ball joint, so it will allow for a little more posability. He does kind of have some stiff knees, but you do get a single jointed knee. The elbow pad kind of covers and hinders articulation here, but there is like a swivel at the elbow joint, and it is a single jointed elbow. We'll get into more articulation with Stone Cold Steve Austin because they are the same, but the arm goes up. You can rotate it at the shoulder here. There is no bicep cut. The head obviously fully rotates. You do get some waist swivel, so not bad for a basic. This is pretty much everything you want, especially if you're just a person who's going to display your figures on your shelf. So you don't really need anything too crazy. Another thing to point out on these new basics, the hands are all interchangeable, so you can pop them out and swap them with whatever extra elite hands you have. If you want to do a head swap, that head actually came off pretty easily, but you can pop off this head and throw it on some other figures. So definitely a lot of customability with these new basics, and obviously the new added articulation. For a few quick Triple H comparisons, on the left we have what is probably my favorite Triple H in my collection. We have the Ultimate Edition Series 3, and on the right I believe this is a WrestleMania Elite Wave Triple H. Also, taking a look at the Ultimate figure versus this new basic, you will see that the head scan is the same, but obviously the paint applications look to be a little different than the Ultimate. The hair also seems to be a tad bit darker, but if you guys wanted to see a quick comparison, I know these figures had a lot of issues where the hair kind of was like lifting off on the side, but it looks to be pretty securely glued on from the side on this new basic, so definitely glad that they fixed that. One last set of Triple H comparisons for you guys. So on the left, we have another one that is one of my favorites. I would love to see them redo or kind of plus this version up, maybe even an Ultimate. We have the Defining Moments, I believe Series 3, correct me if I'm wrong, Triple H. I did a swap on this beanie or hat, whatever you want to call it, from the Ultimate. And on the right, we have the Legends Triple H that was not released too long ago. I will say that this figure was very similar to the Ultimate, so I kind of wanted to plus it up. He came with this shirt. I did go ahead and throw on these track pants. I believe this is from the Ultimate Brock Lesnar. But I wanted to swap these heads out with this new basic on the Legends figure because I personally love that head. I was not the biggest fan of this head. Both of these obviously came with the the Ultimate Edition, but the Legends figure wasn't really crazy about this head. This was probably my favorite Triple H head that has been released, and I wanted to see how it worked on, and that looks money to me. I think without a doubt, I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna get rid of this basic figure because I just don't feel like I really need it for my collection, and keep this head on my Legends figure, and I feel like that really pluses it up, man. Next up, we're taking a look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. So the accessory he doesn't come included is this Attitude Era Championship belt. It is the non-shiny, non-vac finish. It is the dull belt. You can see that here. It doesn't look bad, to be honest with you guys, for the Attitude Era belt. I think it looks okay. I definitely like the shiny vac versions better. I feel like this is probably another way to entice collectors to buy into these basics and Showdown 2-packs. Maybe include some vac belts to really have people jump on board to buy extra belts for maybe their Ultimates or their Elites that they may want to plus up. But Stone Cold does look nice. We have seen this head scan plenty of times before. It was on a WrestleMania Elite. It was on the Ultimate Edition. It is a beautiful screaming head sculpt of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I do like the likeness to it. He finally gets this iconic Austin 316 shirt, more of that invasion angle. I really wish this was an Elite or an Ultimate. I'm sure we will see it eventually down the road, but you will see the Austin 316 on the front. And look at the beautiful smoking skull on the back with the red and orange. Just looks pretty awesome, man. I really do dig this. When I saw this on display, I was like, I need to add this to my collection. But you will see, just like Triple H, the arm is molded in the black plastic. And they painted on the skin tone here on the bottom. If you guys want to see that, it's a little easier to kind of visualize it now. Without the elbow pad like Triple H. And you can see the arm or the lower forearm is molded in the skin tone. So that looks pretty good. But moving along, he does have the jorts. They are more of a darker kind of blue that we have seen. Or maybe we haven't seen something like this. Actually, I take that back. There was that other shirt, the CM Punk Stone Cold shirt with the Stomping Mud Holes, I believe, whatever that shirt was. I think that Elite actually did have this darker kind of jorts mold, but looks pretty good. You do get the red knee pads or knee braces, which really brings something a little extra to this figure. He does have the shorter knee pads on underneath. The boots, I guess they are somewhat accurate. They are the shorter boots. I feel like sometimes they get a mishmash of the taller boots on basic Stone Colds, but he does have the proper size boots. There is no articulation here on the boot. Some of these basics do seem to have and some don't, but take a look at the back of the figure as well. Let's get into some quick articulation. So the head will fully rotate. You do have shoulder movement, goes up about that much, does fully rotate. The elbow, again, is single jointed, but we missed this with Triple H because the elbow pad, he does have this kind of like articulation where it twists. So you can get a little more movement. The hands do fully rotate, they do hinge. Again, they are interchangeable while we are here. If you guys want to throw some fists on your Stone Cold and get him hitting a top rope pose, you can definitely do that. There is waist movement as well. The legs kick up about that much, so you can hit a nice Stone Cold Stunner. They go almost fully split, not too much far back. Again, the knee joints on this are a little stiff, man, to be honest with you guys. I've had some of the, like I said, I've had some of the newer articulated basics. The legs or the knee joints are definitely not as bad as they used to be with basic figures, but these seem to be a little more stiff than I'm used to. There is no foot articulation here. There is a boot cut where you can kind of rotate. There is no thigh cut, but there is a little like swivel that you guys can't see if you guys want to get some other kind of range of motion poses. But for some of these like boots that have the hinge here. I feel like Hogan had it, LA Knight had it, Stone Cold does not. So I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis as far as adding that articulation in. For your Stone Cold Steve Austin comparisons, we have the Ultimate Edition figure here on the left. You'll see how much taller he is than this new Showdown 2-pack. And on the right, we have a WrestleMania Elite, which is a tad taller also than this basic figure. A few more Stone Cold comparisons. So I would arguably say that Stone Cold's street gear is just as iconic as his ring gear, if not more so. So we have a few different Austins and his street gear. On the left, I believe this is a Hall of Fame Stone Cold Steve Austin. I did swap the head out. I believe this is Elite 100. The shirt is from the Ultimate Edition figure, but you can see the difference in the color of the jorts, how much lighter they were versus this new Showdown 2-pack. Next that we have that Then Now Forever Together Stone Cold, the modern day look. I did swap out the head, threw on a kind of a different vest, and plus them as maybe an Attitude Era Stone Cold. You can see the head scan is the same, but also the wash on these jorts are just so nice. I would have loved to see this kind of finish with that shirt on an Elite eventually down the road. On the right, we have the Ruthless Aggression Elite. I did actually swap the head on that, but he does have those kind of camo pants with the Austin 316 shirt on there. Also, I just wanted to try out this laughing head sculpt on Stone Cold here. I don't know, I feel like during this era, I feel like he would always do that kind of laugh, like he was happy, jokey, and then he would put those serious face on and hit someone with a stunner. So I feel like this is pretty fitting for that era and just kind of want to give you a different look that you could possibly mix it up with. If you guys have enjoyed this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And while you're at it, please turn on those notification bells to stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. As far as the Showdown 2-pack set goes, it is a really fun set. I'll be honest with you, Triple H is not really the greatest figure. It is really, really basic. Even the attire, it's just not a fun figure. If there's any saving graces, I really do dig this head, and that is 100% going to be popped off and thrown onto my Legends figure. So that's another way to kind of plus them up, at least kind of have a saving grace for this Triple H, because other than that, it is not very good. But the real reason I purchased this set, and I feel like most people are going to grab it, is for the Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it does not disappoint. It is really fun. I do love the shirt. At least you get the double printed side with the basic while it's being painted on there. The red knee braces really do pop on this figure. If there's any gripes, I will say I'm not a big fan of the dull belt, but that is kind of a cost-cutting measure to be included with this set. But for it being a Championship Showdown 2-pack, they're really highlighting the championship. I feel like they could go a little extra by making it a shiny vac finish. Other than that, other than maybe his knee articulation being a little tight, I may have to heat that. Like I said, the figure is fun. I like that basics allow you interchangeable the hands now. So if you want him calling for a beer, you have a more open hand. If you want him hitting his double fist pose at the top rope, you can swap out for two fisted hands, or even swap out the head if you have some extra heads lying around from your Ultimate Edition figure. So I definitely recommend it. This Austin really makes up for the set, and I think it is needed for your collection. Basics are back, and I think this is definitely a good buy. But before we go, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at AlexWestCollects. I will catch you all on the next video review.